Hello, today we wanted to talk about what happens if you have a misprint. If you print something, you go to pull out your base tray, and then when you look at the bottom of it, it's not your print. So either it's a misformed print or pieces are obviously broken off. The problem is you don't know if anything fell down into your resin tank. There's two ways to deal with that. You can clean your resin tank, one, by taking the whole resin tank out, pick it up, and go pour your resin back into its original bottle using a filter with like a metal funnel and a filter that will catch any pieces. Then you can inspect the clear plastic layer at the bottom to see if anything is still stuck to it. Or alternatively, if the tank has sat for a little bit after your last print, any pieces stuck to the bottom or floating around in there should have settled down to the bottom, in which case you can do the clean resin tank option. So first we'll remove the base plate here, or the print plate. Second, you will take this tool. You do not put it in the corner like this. This is wrong. This is right. Set that in there. What that's going to do is give us an object that the layer is going to cure to slightly so that we can get an edge under it. Now you have a gear icon on your printer. Press the gear icon. Select hardware settings. Select optics settings. Yes. Now we have the top option is clean residue. And we have a cure resin button. We press that. Then we select how many seconds we want to cure for. This will basically determine how thick of a layer. I go for the thickness of a typical base layer, which is 45 seconds. The default for this is 10 seconds. Basically, it'll determine how thick that bottom layer is. Me personally, it works out better for me at 45 seconds. You could try it at 10 seconds. If your layer doesn't peel up, then, but this is where I generally do it at. You're going to want to select that. You're going to close your lid. Remember the handle, the curve of it does not fit into the curve of the corner. You want it sticking out from the corner quite a bit because the printer does not cure all the way to the edges. It needs to be sitting on an area where it's sitting on the cure area. So the horseshoe faces this way. Close your lid. Make sure your curing time is anywhere between 10 and 40 seconds and hit next. Or I'm doing 45 right now, and you'll see how thick of a layer I get. It will now cure the entire base layer. Okay, it's done curing. Now we should have a base layer that is cured, and it should be partially stuck to this tool. So when we lift this tool out, it's going to pull up a corner for us. Now before you pull this out, remember this layer you're pulling out is going to be soaked in resin. You don't want to drag it over your printer. You don't want to ever get resin outside your tank. If you do, the resin could get under the tank, theoretically, and if it ever gets under the tank and gets onto the screen below, you're going to be curing resin to the top of your LCD screen, which will destroy it. So you always want to be careful with your 3D printers. Take good care of them. What I do is I start with a tray with some aluminum foil on it, plastic wrap, whatever, something disposable so I don't have to wash it off after the fact. I have this nearby. I'm going to hold it over my print tray when I pull this out so that everything drips on here. Let's see, when I lift this handle up, we should get a corner to peel up. Just go ahead and go slowly there. Yep, you can see I got a nice corner here. Now go ahead and grab the corner with your gloves to assist it in case it peels free from your tool. There we go. Now we got a nice base layer. Now you want to look at this. You're going to want to make sure you got a whole sheet. If you did not get a whole sheet, if for instance a shape tore out from the bottom, that means that a part of your misprint got cured so hard to the bottom resin sheet, or to the bottom clear tray, that it didn't peel up with this process. If that's the case, you're going to have to empty all your resin out and then peel that up with a plastic tool and inspect your film at the bottom to make sure that it's still clear and good for printing. But if your sheet looks like this, if you get a nice full clear sheet, I would just hold this with one hand so it doesn't fall back into your printer. Grab your tray with your other hand, or if you have two people, it's even easier, but grab your tray with the other hand. I put the tray over the tank itself. See, now I can't drip over my printer as I pull it away. There we go. Now I've got this off here. You can just throw away this film. You're going to want to take this tool and rinse it off in alcohol, and then if there's any film stuck to the bottom of it, you'll have to work it free. You can work the film free from this tool with, once it's been washed in alcohol, you can work it free with your metal scraper. This is a metal piece, you can scrape it free. Alright, that's it. That's cleaning your resin tank. And you'll always want to do that. There may have been a possibility, for instance, and you can see when I pulled my film out, there was actually nothing stuck to it. So I was being overly cautious. But if you get any pieces broken off in this resin tank that you didn't pull out, what'll happen is when the tray comes down to start printing, it won't be able to go all the way down because it's going to hit those hardened, already cured pieces of resin. And then it'll screw up your next print and potentially screw up your actual print tray. So, there are film replacement kits for this where you can unscrew them from the bottom of the tray and just replace just the film. And you can reach out to Sodium Dental to pick those up. But the best case scenario is always take good care of your film to begin with. Alright, that's cleaning your print tray, and I hope that helps you.